I want to talk about your money for a few minutes because your bank certainly isn't going to. If you're over 60 and you have a checking account, a debit card, or a little bit of savings sitting somewhere, there are rules working in your favor right now in 2026. Some of them are brand new. Some have been on the books for years, and the bank has simply never mentioned them, because every fee they don't charge is money out of their pocket. I've watched people lose hundreds of dollars a year to charges they never had to pay, while protections that cost nothing sat right there and used. So today I'm going to hand you the exact words to say, the right person to call, and the few sentences that can get a fee reversed before you even hang up the phone. Quick thing before we start. If this channel has ever saved you a dollar or a headache, subscribe and tap the little bell next to it. The reason matters. Banks change their fee schedules quietly, usually with a notice buried in a statement nobody reads, and most folks find out the hard way after the money is already gone. Subscribe so you hear it from me first. Alright, let's get into it. Start with the one that quietly drains more money from seniors than almost anything else. The overdraft fee. Here's how it works. You buy something with your debit card. There isn't quite enough in the account. Instead of declining the card, the bank lets it go through and charges you somewhere around $35 for the favor. Buy 3 small things on a thin balance and you can rack up over $100 in fees before lunch. Now here is what they don't volunteer. You are allowed to turn that off. Under a federal rule called Regulation E, the bank cannot enroll you in debit card overdraft coverage unless you said yes to it. And you can say no anytime you want. Call the number on the back of your card, or walk into the branch, and say it plainly. I want to opt out of overdraft coverage on my debit card. From that point on, if the money isn't there, the card simply gets declined at the register. A declined card is a small embarrassment. A $35 fee is real money. Pick the embarrassment. The second one is the monthly maintenance fee, and this is the easiest money you'll ever get back. A lot of older accounts carry a monthly charge, $10, $12, $15, just for the privilege of keeping your money there. Multiply that by 12 months and you see the problem. Almost every bank in the country has an account with no monthly fee at all, and most of them have a senior version with the fee waived entirely, usually starting somewhere around age 62 or 65. They are not going to call and offer to move you to it. You have to ask. Call them and say, I'd like to switch to an account with no monthly maintenance fee. What do you have for someone my age? If they tell you the only way to waive it is to keep a high minimum balance or set up direct deposit, and your Social Security already goes in by direct deposit, then point that out because that usually qualifies you right there. Worst case, you find out your bank is the only one being difficult, and you take your account down the street to one that isn't. Number 3 is about fraud, and this is where knowing the rule is worth real money. Say a charge shows up that you didn't make, a subscription you never signed up for, a withdrawal from a store 3 states away, a number you don't recognize. The bank may tell you to wait and see, or that there's nothing they can do until it clears. That is not how it works. Under that same Regulation E, if you report an unauthorized charge on your debit card within 60 days of the statement that shows it, the bank has to investigate. And while they investigate, they are generally required to put the money back into your account, provisionally within 10 business days. They don't get to sit on your cash for a month and a half while they look into it. When you call, use the exact words, I am reporting an unauthorized transaction, and I'm requesting provisional credit while you investigate. Write down the date, the time, and the name of the person you spoke to. Those notes are your proof if anyone gives you trouble later. The fourth one is the single best thing you can do to protect yourself. It's completely free, and almost nobody over 60 uses it. It's called a credit freeze. Think of your credit file as the door a criminal has to walk through to open a new account in your name, a credit card, a loan, a phone contract. A freeze locks that door. With it in place, nobody can open new credit using your information, not even if they have your Social Security number, because the lender can't pull your file to approve them. Since a federal law passed back in 2018, this freeze is free at all 3 credit bureaus, and so is unfreezing it whenever you need to. The 3 are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You go to each one, either on their website or by phone, prove who you are and place the freeze. Takes about 10 minutes per bureau, 1 afternoon total, and then it just sits there protecting you for the rest of your life. If you ever need to apply for something yourself, you lift the freeze for a day or 2 and put it right back. There is no downside and no cost. The only people who don't want you to do this are the ones trying to steal from you. Number 5 is the one I wish more families talked about, because it's built specifically to stop the scams that target older folks. It's called a trusted contact, and it works hand in hand with something called the Senior Safe Act. Here's the idea. You give your bank the name and number of one person you trust, an adult child, a close friend, somebody steady. That person can't touch your money. They can't move a dime or see your balance. But if the bank ever sees something that looks like a scam in progress, a sudden wire transfer to a stranger, a rush to send gift cards, a withdrawal that doesn't fit your pattern, they're allowed to pause that transaction and call your trusted contact to check before the money walks out the door. Ask for it directly. I want to add a trusted contact to my account, and I want you to flag any unusual transfers before they go through. And while we're here, burn this rule into your memory, because it stops nearly every scam there is. No real bank, no government office, no police department will ever call you and tell you to move your money to keep it safe, or to buy gift cards, or to wire funds to a so-called secure account. The moment anyone tells you to move money over the phone, the call is the scam. Hang up and call your bank yourself, using the number on your card. So let's put the whole thing together. Overdraft fees are optional, and you can turn them off in one phone call under Regulation E. Monthly maintenance fees can almost always be waived, especially once you ask for a senior account or point to your direct deposit. If a charge shows up that you didn't make, you have 60 days to report it, and you can demand provisional credit within 10 business days while they investigate. A credit freeze is free at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and it slams the door on anyone trying to open accounts in your name. And a trusted contact plus one iron rule: never move money because a phone call told you to, will stop the scams aimed straight at people your age. None of this is a favor. It's not a discount they're being generous about. These are protections that already belong to you, and the only reason they stay unused is that nobody bothers to explain them. Now somebody has. Do me one favor in return. If you know someone, a neighbor, a sister, a friend from church, who still pays these fees or who's a little too trusting on the phone, send them this video. It might save them more than they realize. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.